this is chapter 6 of this class, and I believe you guys have read through the chapter 5, and of course I've explained that, and you have solved the assignment I gave to you. Very much important. I said you guys to check the practice question, which is number 3 here. You solve it and you snap it to me on or before Monday. Are you with me? On before Monday. Snap it to me, and I'll also get some questions across to you on economics or your past questions, whereby you need to go through it and see how you can able to find your if there's any question related to production process and demand of what we have done so far, extract it, write it down, solve it. If you can't get it right, let me know so I can explain for you. So now we are moving to chapter 6, which is the cost, revenue, and profit maximization of firms. I've talked to you, I've explained the meaning of firms. Firms is just single name. But when you have a lot of them, like A and B is in producing pure water, and that A and B is a firm, right? Me. But industry means that a combination of many other firms together that are in the similar aspect of their production, right? Me. Like A and B Limited producing water, C and B producing water. So coming together of those firms now is called industry. Are you with me? Because we can call it water industry. It is like that. So now I want to look at the short run and the long run cost, and also want to explain the revenue and profit concept. Are you with me? So I want to differentiate between economic of scale and diseconomic of scale. So this is where you need to be very focused now. Now, profit maximization is assumed to be like primary objective of any firm. Primary what objective of any firm, but profit at times is an excess of revenue over cost. That is, when you remove your you make a sales of 1 million naira and you spent spent 900,000 naira on it to gain that cost. That's say like a production of something. Right? Me. So the cost that you have incurred on this, you remove every courses, your salary, everything, you remove everything, so you now spend 900,000 naira. So all these are the costs incurred. So to get your profit, you have to remove that cost from your revenue, get your profit. So profit is said to be what? It's said to be as the excess of revenue over what cost. We have revenue is excess than what, but you have cost is excess than revenue, that is loss. So therefore, to establish what constitutes a profitable performance for a firm, it is desirable to consider the short run cost and the long run cost. Short run cost and the long. So let's look at the cost of production. Cost of production. Now, in this regard, we have explicit cost and implicit cost. So let's look at it very well. These are the explicit costs. Now, these are payments made by the firm when it purchases or hire factors of production in production process. In account, we call it a direct cost. We call it direct cost. So these are payments made by the firm when it purchases or hire factors of production that are related to production process. With factory workers, the rent that related to that particular aspect. Right? So, and this particular cost incurred will involve what? Rent of on land, business space, wages and salary, labor, and interest on loan fund, which is like that. Right? So now we have implicit of cost. These are costs that do not require out of pocket expenses by the firm. Right? That do not what require out of what? Out of pocket. So by the firm. So it are costs that inputted money value over the owner sources that are used in production process. Are you with me now? So now, if they are talking about out of pocket, what is the meaning of out of pocket? Out of pocket. If you have heard about that before. Out of pocket is a slang in the business. It's a slang. So it's like a phrase of pocket, like having lost money in a transaction. That's the meaning of out of pocket. Does not require any out of pocket expense by the firm. Right? So it meaning that The salary forgone by an entrepreneur for his labor service. For example, now as an entrepreneur, you are expected to what to get salary, but you let it go. Are you with me? The rent forgone for using his house for business. Are you with me now? You are using your own house for business. You are using your own car for your business. Are you with me? So he forgone that particular aspect of it because in some company, the health care, the health medication of the director, the entrepreneur will be taken care of by the money realized in the company. But this one is talking about whereby our cost inputted money value of owner resources that are used, use the owner, the entrepreneur money instead of you to know to use it from the company money. They make use of what the entrepreneur money. So it forgone some things. Right me. So uh you know the hiring fee forgone by using his car to do running around for a business. These are called implicit costs. And to the economics, the sum of both implicit and implicit costs constitute the total cost of production. Whereas for the accountant who are interested in the outflow and inflow of money, the explicit cost only constitute the total cost. Yes, right me. Because for accountant now, what really matters now is the cost you incurred in your business. You use money for business, so because that's what they will audit. Right me. That's what will be in your financial statement as an accountant. But in economy, is saying that both this money you use in the business, land, and both everything together, it called what? It's called like economic cost. So economic cost now is called to what? The explicit cost and implicit cost. That's the what mathematical expression. But for accounting aspect is only the word the explicit what implicit cost that we will need. So we don't want to know if the director is using his personal car to run his business. We don't want to know. All what we know is that the cost we incurred, because the flow of the money and outflow of the money is very much important. So let's look at the short run cost. Short run cost now. The short run cost period in production has been explained. I've explained that whereby some input are fixed while some are variable. But long run cost is whereby all the variable they are what? They are varies. So all the input are varies. So the firm will incur fixed cost on the fixed variable while variable cost on the variable cost. Imagine that now. So the fixed cost will be on rent at a fixed cost every month, every year is what 1.2 million naira. So that is a fixed cost on that fixed variable. Are you with me now? The fixed variable for that rent is the rent now is a fixed variable. So the cost you incur on that rent, which is 1.2, is now the fixed cost every month, every year. So the variable cost on labor, like maybe some labor are coming today, tomorrow, so is what we need to look at. Now let's look at the total fixed cost. Total fixed cost is TFC. And total fixed cost is the cost incurred on the fixed factor input. Since the level of fixed factors employed does not change with output in the short run, total costs tend to be constant. And fixed costs will tend to be constant in the short run. The firm still pay for fixed costs even if no output has been produced. For example, even though you have your rent and no production is produced for good 1 year, you still pay for the rent. You still pay. We call it unavoidable cost in accounting. Okay, it's here. Unavoidable cost. You can't avoid it. It's an overhead cost. Because despite the fact that you are running at loss in the company, in as much you are still using that place, you still pay for rent. You still pay for rent. ISP. So that is it. It's an unavoidable. And the example of fixed cost include rent. You can see interest payment on loan. Either you are earning profit or not, you have to pay the interest. ISP. So that's that about the fixed cost, total fixed cost, and average fixed cost (AFC). Average fixed cost. Average cost is total fixed cost per unit of an output produced. ISP meaning total fixed cost divided by the quantity out. So you want to know, okay, maybe you have 1.2 million naira and you produce in this company, you produce 10 bags of water in this year. So you want to know the average cost, average fixed cost. So you have divided by what, and this is what we have here: TFC over quantity. Are you with me? So total variable cost. Total variable cost. This total variable cost is total expenditure on the variable factors used in cost of production in the short run. This can also be considered a total explicit. Are you with me now? You can see now an implicit cost on variable input. because the level of variable factors used in short run determine the level of output. Are you with me? Total variable cost change whenever output is varies. Maybe the company needs to produce 1 million of bag of pure water and they have 2 staff. Are you with me? You can see the level of output has increased now from 10,000 bag of pure water every month now to 1 million. So for them to meet up with that rate of input, what they need to do is to hire more of staff. Are you with me? Get more, and the cost of them hiring more of that staff is what? Total variable cost. Whenever cost output is varied, so when a firm does not produce anything, variable costs are not incurred. Are you with me? Are not incurred, or they can decide to sack some staff. Are you with me? So hence they are sometimes referred to as avoidable. You can see you can see control it, which is of operative staff. So no pure to produce as a machine operator, nothing to get, and because your salary is paid based on what you produce before. Like if you produce 2,000 units, you get 5,000 naira. But now you don't produce anything. That means that they can avoid your what salary, cost of fuel and cost of raw material like that. So you have average is what variable cost is total variable cost per unit of output produced. Are you with me? So a staff that produce, okay, after you have gotten the staff and you pay you want to produce 10 million naira, sorry, you want to produce 10 million bag of pure water now, and you hire more staff, like you hire more of them, like 200,000 staffs. So the cost you are paying for salary and then total that cost together divide by 10 million naira, you get what? Average variable cost. Are you with me? So total cost is the sum of total fixed cost plus total variable cost. Very, very simple. If the output is zero in short run, if the output is zero in short run, so that means that your TVC, that is total variable cost, will be zero. I've told you, if there's no any output, if the machine operator is not producing anything, they can avoid the cost. There will be zero. Variable cost will be zero if there's no output. If output is zero, total variable cost will be zero. Why? Total fixed cost will be what? So if the output is zero, you know that I told you that even though they are not earning anything, they will still pay for rent. So in this regard, your total cost now will be what? TVC. That's only when you, because your TVC, your TC total cost is what? Total fixed cost plus total variable cost. Right me? But if the output is zero, that means that we can avoid total VC and what, and focus on total variable, because total fixed cost is must to pay. You have to, is constant in short run. Total fixed cost is short term, is what is constant in what, in a short run. So total cost now is the what, addition of total fixed cost plus what, plus total variable cost. Are you getting this now? But and I say that if the output is zero, that means that you can avoid total variable cost, and I've explained the scenario around that. But if it's zero, that means that your total cost now is only the rent you paid. It's only the interest you pay on your loan. Despite the fact that you are not producing anything for the year, you still pay for the house you are sleeping. It's a fixed cost. So that fixed cost now is your total cost then. Now. So average total cost, this is the total cost per unit. So anything you see that average is the cost per unit. So just divided by the quantity. So and average total cost also can be expressed in what, in this way. Now, since our AVC now, ATC is what? That is average total cost is total cost divided by quantity. And our total cost divided by quantity is what? Our total cost is what? So let me write something there. Since our total cost divided by quantity we give us average total cost. Now to split it now, you can also use that. Okay, your total cost now is what? Total cost is what? TFC, right? Me TFC plus what? All over quantity plus what? Plus TVC plus what? Oh, sorry, all over quantity. Also, we can use this formula to get our average total cost, because TC is equal to what? TFC plus what? And that's what you get. Right? So And note, if average variable cost is 0, that means ATC will reduce to only what? Average fixed cost alone. Alone. Very much important. So get that clause very well. Get the clause. Let me go back and mark it. Go back and mark it. Go back and mark it. Where is it? I get this one right time right. Total cost, sorry. Is it? Mark it red. You can see it. Hmm? Very important. Very important. So it's very important because we get to calculation on this what we use. So marginal cost. Marginal cost is the change in total cost as a result of unit change in output. Some staff left, so why the quantity is too much for them, or some left because so the change of total cost as a result of change in units. Hmm? So I know this very well. So that's change in total cost over change in what. So where TC change means what total cost, that is new TC minus old TC. We know this very well. And a change in quantity means what old change in output, new quantity minus old quantity. Right me. So that is that about that. So let's look at this particular table together. The table together. Now, this table I want us to look together now is this. I said um, the quantity of output produced and the quantity of, now let's see, this output produced, total fixed cost, total variable cost, total variable cost, and total cost, total fixed cost, total average, total cost, marginal cost. So how do you get your total cost? Total fixed cost plus total variable cost. Are you with me? You get this. So how to get your average fixed cost? Average fixed cost is what? Division of this divided by this, you get this. Division of this by, you get this. Average variable cost. Division of this divided by this, you get this. That is, if you divide 600 divided by 1, you get 600. You divide 1000 divided by 2 units here, you get what? You get 500. Right me. So now 400 now for AVC is here. 2 divided by 3, you have 400, like that. So how about average total cost? What's total cost? What total cost? That is this divided by 0, you have 0. 4 divided by 1 is 114. 1 is divided by 2, you have this. Right me. So that's that about that. So marginal cost is what? Change in total cost, that is 600 minus 14 minus 800, that's what? 600 divided by what? Is my 1 minus 0, that's 1. So the changes here is just 1 1 1 1. So anything you can have here is just what? 600. Are you with me now? So now let's look at the illustration here. I want us to read this together because of now they said output Q is our output. Are you with me? Column 2 is our total, which is the fixed cost. Now it is 8,000 naira at every level of output, no matter how the changes. Are you with me? So it shows that TVC increased from what? From 0. It increased here from 0 to 334. Are you with me? So now column 4 is what? Total fixed cost, which is also increased from what? This to this. Are you with me? So now a average fixed cost declined from 800 to what? To average, you can see, to 80. 800 to 80. So I will explain this with a graph now very shortly. You can see this is a graph now. This is a graph of this. Now the graph distribution of cost on short run, fixed cost is still 800. No matter how. So if you draw it very carefully, we see that this is how your TVC is and your total fixed cost is. So why is it that our total fixed cost is not starting from the output but starting on the basis of total fixed cost? Let's look at this now. It said total fixed cost is okay. The total fixed cost curve is original nature parallel to it. So this indicates that total fixed cost is insensitive to change in level of output. I've explained that. Total cost TVC start from the origin. meaning that TVC is zero when nothing is produced. Are you with me? It's zero when nothing is produced. So you can avoid that when you don't have any production at this level. Yeah. Hmm? You can see at this level here, nothing to produce. No, so not so why are we now paying spending our money on it? So since you don't, so TVC can be avoided. So it's zero when nothing is produced, and increases as output rises. The more the output is increasing, the more the cost, the more you are getting more of bag of, okay, your customer comes today, we need 10 bag of of pure water, tomorrow 10 bag of, so you need more cost. You'll be getting more variable cost on the what's it called, on the total variable cost. Right me. So it increased based on the level of output. If your level of output is decreasing, variable cost will also be decreasing. Right me. So this is due to the fact that for any increase in output, there's a need to employ more variable factors in short run. So total cost is equal to what? TVC. When now total cost is what? Is what? When the output level is zero, and also increase with output because the total variable cost effect on it. Right me? So that is that. And this table, if I come to class, I will explain because I need to do more explanation on this very well for you to understand. Right me. So let's just do some little explanation on this here. But when I come back to class physically, I will explain depth for this particular. So now they said this is the average fixed cost, average total cost, marginal cost. So this shows that ABC and S are what they are curve. It's only been curve. Anything average is all being a curve, but total is just something like straight. Right? I mean, either straight line curve or everything. So it will be in a U shape. It will be in U shape. Right? I mean, so now, um, for I will explain this. I said I will explain this in the class, because something I need to be explaining based on line by line for you to understand the curve. Now, long run cost concept. Long run cost concept. In long run, all factor of production are variable. I've explained that before. In short run, they have fixed and they have short variable. Now, therefore, all costs are variable. The long run average cost curve is planning curve. The planning curve in the sense that it is a single guide for all entrepreneurs in this decision making. Are you with me? For future expansion. So firm can plan to change their capacity or scale, which is what prompted by the desire to reduce cost of production. So how can we derive that? Derivation for long run average cost curve. How can we derive that? I will explain this graph. All this graph is something that we need to explain in class. I will explain in class with some illustration. I will just hold on this graph. In class, I will come back to explain on this, but I'm just trying to let you know what we're trying to. So the economics and diseconomics of scale are responsible for advantages and what are disadvantages of large scale production. Are you with me? So if anytime we're talking about this economy, are you with me? This economy. So when talk about okay, when the expansion of output come with increased average unit cost. That's what we call this economic of scales. You know, this economy of scale happen when a company or a business grow so large that the cost per unit increases. I mean, the cost per that unit what increases. So that is this economy. So it occur. It can no. It is. It can involve factor internal to operation. That is economy. So in aspect of this economic case now, it come with various reasons. Right me? Come with various reasons, but uh we have a lot of them. We have technical economic skills. We have correct organizational economic skills and external economic skills. But now let's look at it one after the other. Right me? Let's look at it one after the other. So we have economic scale, and the economic scale is the cost advantage the company gain from increasing their output. From what? Increasing the cost of advantage reaped by the work companies when production become efficient. Are you with me? So company can achieve this economic of scales by increasing production and lowering costs. In some call they call it cost leadership. Are you with me? They lower their costs. This happen because costs are spread over a large number of goods. Yeah. So that's where the this economic skills come also economic skills come to play. Are you with me? So now let's look at some concepts, some phenomena of these economics and economic scales. Now they said internal economic scales. Okay, is here. Internal economic scales are the advantage or benefit that firm enjoy as it expand its size and increase its scale of operation. It may be like the technical aspect of it. Maybe now we are using capital intensive. We have to expand our technical know how we operate instead of what to be doing. So let's come to online sales, everything like that. So this may result from technical and financial management, managerial marketing or welfare advantage enjoyed by the firm. Right me. So now we have technical economics. These are skills that accrued from the use of large machine. I talked about that. Right me. First, these are some equipment which are available only in the certain minimum size, unless a plant acquisition usage etc. Subsequently, the large scale production allow for what position of different set of equipment for different function. So there are benefit derived from this using technical aspects. We have marketing economics. These are derived from the bulk purchasing of input, bulk distribution of output. A large firm is able to buy its raw material in large quantities. So that is financial economy. These are benefits obtained from large by a large firm as a result of contracting credit from financial. You get more, more. The more you get more loan, the more they are reducing your interest than small. Comparing to all those small firms. Right me. So managerial economies whereby these are managerial economy associated with the large scale. If large firm is in the position of to employ more highly qualified and specialist managers, right? So they can't just get anybody anyhow. So with this hiring of this experienced manager now, it will help them to scale up, right? So economics of research and development, all things being equal, larger firm make greater profit and can set aside some this profit for research and development. So B is external. External what? Something that is external you can control, that you can learn from, like we have SWOT. I will explain that later. The threat outside, the opportunity outside, etc. So now these are advantages of benefit gained by firm as industry in which it operates grow larger. So these are cost saving advantage derived by the work firm as a result of is being sited in an area where there is concentration of other firm or industry. Now there are some advantage in what economies of skilled labor. This involve upgrading the skill of labor through improvisation of education. You can see well-organized industry. This ensures that education and training of labor do not become part of industry operation, but rather some specialized institutions take over performance of these. So, economic scale of research and development, economics of common size. So, number two is what internal this economics of scales. Now, these are a disadvantage of firm has to contend with what is grow larger or increase scale of production. I've explained that before. For instance, managerial ability not only lead to economics of scale, but also this economics of scale. If firm size continue to increase, certain indivisible factor may be duplicated. Are you with me? Duplicated. So we have external this economic of scales. We have whereby these are disadvantages that confront firm in an industry as the industry grows larger beyond the optimal side. So an example of this is increasing raw material cost. These are things we can't control. Increase in cost of, like for example now, staff. Yeah, you can't employ staff and you'll be getting them 50,000 naira. They can't work efficiently, and excess of marketing cost. It's been now. So now let's look at the revenue. Revenue is received from scale of firm output. It's mean what you earn, the output of it earned immediately a firm sell a given output outside. So what you earn. Now we have total revenue is the total received from the sales of a given quantity of a firm output. So that is you multiply the price by the quantity you sold. You sold 10 bag of pure water. How much is how much is one bag? 2 naira. Multiply by that. So your revenue is what? Is so that means revenue is what? Total revenue is what? Price by what? Quantity. Why the average revenue is what? Average revenue is the revenue per unit of output sold. Output sold. So it's found by dividing the total revenue by quantity sold. You want to know the okay average revenue of okay you sold 10 million naira and then how many quantity do you sold out? 5. You divide that to get your average. Are you with me? So um, all right. So therefore, average revenue is also as price. Average revenue is also as price because if you're talking about your TR is what? Your TR is what? Your TR is revenue. Right? Total revenue. And total revenue now is what? Is your price over quantity. Like for example, now this is your average revenue. TR now TR is what? Price. So quantity. So that means that you can get your revenue by multiplying your price by quantity. So item. So now therefore average revenue can also be getting by what? PQ, and this P price times quantity will give us revenue over quantity. Item. So that means quantity. So that means average revenue cost also can be served as your price. The price you are giving, for example now, the bag of pure water is 10 naira. Item. I want to know the average price, average revenue. You have sold like 10 million, 20,000 bag of pure water. Multiplied by 10 naira is what? That is 200,000 naira. I mean 200,000 naira. To get your average is what? Total revenue over quantity. You sold 20, and that means that average revenue is still the price. It's 10 naira. I mean so marginal revenue is the change in total revenue with the respect to what change in quantity. This is very common to us. So the change you can see change in total revenue, new revenue minus old revenue over new quantity over new cost. So now let's look at this. Look at this. Price taking firm. A firm is described as a price taker when it has no significant control over the price of its product. Price taking firm. This means that the firm cannot influence the price of its product by altering its supply. Usually, it's the market or industry demand or supply that will interact to feed the price of the product, which is handed over to all firms in the industry world. The firm can sell any quantity at the market or determine price. Now, the perfectly competitive firm is a price taking firm. That is, a firm price taker is when you have no control over the price of your products. It's a fixed like you want to bread now. Bread is 20 naira. So you don't have any control over it unless the price in the industry has changed to 20 naira. So price taking firm. So let's look at this demand revenue schedule for price taking firm now. He said the price is 1,000 naira, quantity is one. So total revenue you just multiply the quantity by you have your total revenue. Average is this. You can see that you result back to your average revenue. You see your price. So this is your marginal. It's changing what? Changing your total revenue, which is 2,000 minus 1, that's 1,000. It is this. Are you with me? So that means that your price is equal to what? Your price is still equal to your annual average revenue is equal to what? Marginal revenue. So we observe that for a price taking firm, price average revenue and marginal are the same thing. Let's look at this way. You can see they are the same thing. Average revenue and average total cost, they are still the same thing. So let's look at price making firm, price taking firm, price making firm. They are different things. A firm is classified as a price making firm if it has significant control over its price. Yes, me. So let's look at what happened here. You can see on 110, 900. You can see there's price control over it. So in a price taking firm, your price is equal to average revenue and your marginal revenue. But here now, let's look at it this way. You can see the changes, it drops. It means average revenue cannot be compared to what average your price here, because it is a price making firm, but they have significant control over their. So in this table now they said we still confirm the price is the same average revenue. Yes, therefore the average revenue is as same as demand. Now the TR is a price making initially increase, get to this, okay, it increased from initial increase, hmm, get to a maximum of 30,000 naira and decline from what 9 naira. So it means that the marginal revenue for price making firm declined throughout. You can see throughout here decline. It start from positive figure of 1 and then fall to 0, even turn to negative when TR is increasing. When TR is increasing, MR is positive, but when TR reach, now this way reach is maximum. You can see maximum here. This is maximum. So your marginal revenue is now be what? 0. Right me? But when TR is decreasing, your what? Your marginal revenue is not decreasing. You can see that is that on that. So um we continue. Let me conclude on this. Now the profit concept. Profit concept is the reward enjoyed by entrepreneur or owner of the business is found by subtracting your revenue from your total cost. Right? So after subtracting your total cost from your result is, now the result is negative. Then it is referred to have negative profit or loss. Right? So let's look at this accounting profit versus economic profit. They can ask you. You know, we said that in accounting we only focus on explicit cost, but in economics we focus on the both, in both what implicit and explicit cost. Right? So accounting profit now is the total revenue less total cost. Right? Now that is the only explicit cost. If this outcome is positive, then accounting profit is n. If then is accounting loss, that means what? There's 0. Fact was break even, a point whereby there's no loss, there's no gain. Right? So the economic profit now is total revenue less total cost, made up of, now this total cost made up of what? Made up of explicit and implicit cost. If the outcome is positive, so then an economic pure and super, we have super normal profit has been earned. Right? So if negative, then an economic loss is made, and if 0, then normal profit has been earned. Right? So now these are the economic profit, normal profit. Want to read through. Economic profit is the excess of total revenue over total. You can see I've explained that normal profit is when there's when the total revenue is exactly equal to total cost. So that's normal revenue. So there's no loss, there's no gain. So that means there's no dividend if there's shareholders. So economic loss, I've explained that, and the profit maximization. We explained this in our market structure. So a firm is said to be in equilibrium, maximizing profit or minimizing loss at the output level. If firm marginal revenue is equal to marginal cost, are you with me? And also provided that at output level, so these are the market profit. This particular topic is still under market structure, in which I want us to look into very well. So looking at this question, you have to understand this very well and go through the objective questions, solve the theory aspect, and solve the questions there also, and then we move to the next topic when time we see each other physically. So please remind me when you see the graph I want to explain, so you can see this where we need to focus chapter 7 of it. All right, so read through, hear this, listen to this video and watch this clearly. If